Here we're going to actually look at then how we represent inequalities on a number line. We did number lines a long time ago, so have a look. If you don't know how to do a number line, look way back in the videos. But simply put, it's a line of numbers, 0 in the center, negative numbers to the left of it, positive numbers to the right of it. Now, if we had a number which is, or an non-equation which wasn't an inequality, for instance x is equal to 2, we could simply say, put a mark on this where the number line where the number 2 is, and say that that point is where x is. However, inequalities don't tell us that. They tell it that it's higher, that it's lower, and so on. So we can only tell from what point that x could possibly be, or whichever variable we're dealing with. So for instance, with this number line here, this arrow represents all the possible numbers that x could be. In other words, x is greater than 2. So when we're drawing it on a number line, we draw an arrow in the direction that x could potentially be. Now, by here we've got an open circle, not one coloured in, which means it doesn't include that number. In other words, this number line here would represent x is greater than 2, because the arrow shows that all the values are potentially above 2, and the circle says that it's not including the equal to. So it's not greater than or equal to, it's greater than. However, if we have a coloured in dot, then it includes that number. So now we've got x is greater than or equal to. Let's have a look at a few others then. So by here, it's showing us that x is greater than 5, not greater than or equal to, because it's not coloured in. And at the same time, it's less than -2. So in other words, when we've got two lines, it represents a double inequality, or I should say two circles, because the lines might be pointing inwards. So in this case, we know that x is greater than 5, but it's also less than -2 potentially, which doesn't quite make sense, I suppose, but well, some equations might show that. So if there's two lines, or at least two circles, then it's a double inequality. For instance, by here, why I'm saying two circles is this also shows two circles, and hence is a double inequality. In this case, we've got the fact that x is less than 5, but it's also greater than or equal to -2. And notice how we put the or equal to in, because the circle is coloured in. So that's how we represent numbers, whether inequalities, whether they're double or single on a number line.